Yeah, I mean, I think one thing to say is that all of the many spaces where young people engage in education are really important. So I want to affirm all of the many spaces. But I do think that teaching this history in public schools is particularly important for a couple reasons. One, the vast majority of students in the United States continue to attend public schools, particularly those from marginalized communities, students of color, low income students. I think the other reason is because this is a history of state violence and harm, and institutions of the state have to forthrightly address this. And public schools, I think, are a great place to begin that work, that are also state entities. Yeah, I'm thinking back. I think definitely, telling an honest history, promoting critical thinking. I remember grappling with ideas of oppression and agency, thinking and talking about what reparations looks like through curriculum. What does repair and redress through curriculum mean, or what could that look like? I do want to hold it up. It by far is one of the most collaborative curriculum development spaces I've ever been in. We had members of Chicago Public Schools, the Chicago Teachers Union, teachers, social studies teachers in the district, legal organizations, nonprofits, representatives from organizations that included survivors, myself and another historian. And, I was included as a historian expert, but I was very much a learner in that space as well. So it was a really unique curriculum development space. For sure. I mean, I think there was a lot of question of, making the curriculum accessible in a number of different ways, but also, standards aligned, right? So what are the ways that we can make sure this definitely gets taught, and balancing that with what are the ways that are most, would be most engaging with students, and that those don't have to be separate things. And so I think there was a lot of conversation about making the lesson plans deeply engaging, and also allowing students, in the way that we were shaping it, to shape the lessons for themselves, and for their teachers to have some autonomy in shaping the lessons for themselves. So giving ideas, but also lots of room for iteration, and for students and teachers themselves to reshape the lessons. I think now more than ever, we have to teach honest history. This is currently being attacked all across the country, and teaching critical, honest history is fundamental to the defense of public education as a public good. And by a public good, not a consumer product, not something that benefits individuals, but that benefits all of society and provides opportunities for actual democratic engagement, little d. And so I think the knowledge of history, the knowledge of state violence in our community, and also the struggle to organize against that state violence is powerful. I think history helps us to ask better questions and address challenges, certainly the challenges of our current moment, as well as grappling with the past. And I think ultimately, I hope that students were able to take from it and continue to be able to take from it whatever serves them, and to be able to make it, continue to have it be a living document, a living curriculum that they can shape and use in the ways that best serve them. Certainly how much to focus on the torture and state violence, and also state sanctioned violence around it itself, and how much to focus on organizing and activism. And I think it felt really important to tell both of those stories, and to tell them forcefully. I think nationally, but particularly in Chicago, we have these long-standing histories of really strong, autocratic, sort of top-down governance that at various times has been more or less coupled with corporate infrastructure, but also this really long, rich organizing tradition, grassroots organizing tradition here in Chicago. And the accomplishment of the reparations ordinance was a massive organizing win that was, you know, decades in the making. And I think we have to celebrate those wins, that we learn from those wins, and that they can be instructive. So this reparations ordinance was historic. It was the first of its kind in the entire country to require reparations for police violence. And I think that's important. It's important that this happened in Chicago, but there are important stories nationally and internationally for this as well. And I think it also lets us take a local moment of a reparations win and let us think about how that might help us to think more broadly about a call for a broader ethics of reparation, redress, the righting of past wrongs, and that fundamentally requires a realignment of our values and actions towards redistribution and towards justice, and making sure that a range of voices are a part of the conversation about what that future looks like.